Hello, my name is Carrie Lentz, and I'm the District Vice President for Edmonton East at TD Canada Trust. TD is very proud to sponsor Eric's New Women's chapter of the Career Mentorship Program. This program will feature a series of modules designed with women in mind for professional growth and personal wellness. Please check back each month for new and exciting installments. Enjoy.
Hi everyone, my name is Shani Herath and I currently work at Okanagan College as an HR and labor relations advisor. I'm really excited to be here today to present on resume and cover letter tips and tricks for the TD Women's Mentorship session. So with that being said, I am quickly going to share my screen. So the first, I wanted to just touch base on why a resume is important and a purpose of a resume. So writing a professional resume has one specific purpose, obviously to win an interview. So I would consider a resume like an advertisement, nothing more, nothing less. A great resume does not just tell employers what you have done, but as all advertisements do, it serves to make an assertion that if you buy this product, you will get these specific direct benefits. It convinces the employer that you have what it takes to be successful in this new position or career based on your skills, education, or experience. So your job essentially is to make it as easy as possible for the employer to quickly find the relevant information that they are looking for by clearly articulating your relevant skills and proof of those skills, along with making the resume visually appealing. It should stimulate interest in meeting you and learning more about you. So let's just quickly talk about the types of resumes. So there's three types of resumes: the chronological, functional, and combination resumes. So I'm going to go through all three resumes and give you and show you examples of what these three look like. So the chronological resume places your skills, accomplishment within the context of your employment history or volunteer experience and demonstrate your career progress. As a former recruiter myself, I can say that most employers prefer the chronological format for this reason. It's really easy to see where you have achieved and what you have started. So I'm just going to show you an example of a chronological resume. So in this resume, you can see it presents your employment history in reverse chronological order. So most recent position first is what it shows. Note that each position held includes job title, company name, location, and dates of employment. So you can include your education section prior to your employment history, professional experience section, as your current education is extremely relevant. Once you've gained professional experience in your field of interest, you can reverse the order of these sections. So it really depends where you are at in your career. So include a company description for companies if you'd like. That are not well known or are international. Write the company description directly below the company name. So you would write it right here. Include bullet points written as accomplished statements for each position held. Attention can be drawn to key relevant skills by including highlights of qualifications, profile section at the very top with key skills plus proof to support those key skills. So you can write those highlights of qualification section right here to draw attention. So here, I think it's important to point out in writing any resume, again, I need to emphasize this to make sure that your resume is clear, concise. There are no grammatical errors in the resume, you can always send your resume to a friend or someone in your professional setting to review your resume, and make sure that you don't have any grammatical or spelling errors. But we can talk about a little more about that in the next upcoming slide. So let's talk about the next resume here, which is the functional resume. So the functional resume places your skills accomplishment under skill headings. Example from multiple positions or educational experiences may be included under one skill heading. So this style of resume can be really effective for individuals with too many positions to list on the resume, or for individuals who are early in their career, have gaps in employment, or making a career switch. However, because this style of resume makes it difficult for the reader to identify where the achievements / examples are coming from, personally, it is not the preferred choice by employers. So let's take a look at what a functional resume looks like. So this is what a functional resume looks like. As you can see, it's different than a chronological resume where you don't have the dates of when you worked and the employer. It just has a skills summary. So you would include your leadership skills, interpersonal, organizational planning skills. You would still have an objective and a summary up top and your education. But as I mentioned before, because this style of resume makes it difficult for the reader to identify where the achievement examples are coming from, it's not really the preferred choice by employers. But I have to say it is a really good resume for people that are early in their careers. For example, students who don't really have a lot of relevant work experience. This would be a really good resume to use. So the next resume is a combination resume. So the combination resume highlights skills and expertise you have acquired over your entire career by using examples under skill heading. So under those skill headings, the professional experience is listed in reverse chronological format. However, only company names, position titles, and date ranges are listed, rather than including accomplishment statement bullet points under each position held. So this style of resume can be beneficial when wanting to draw attention to specific skills. However, typically employers want to understand what you have accomplished and where and when you have accomplished it. So let's take a look. So this is the the combination resume. So as you can see, the employment history is just at the bottom here, and the bullet points are not below it. Instead of that, there's a skills section here where there's a project management skills experience, leadership experience, which is highlighted. The education experience is here, and this is how it is. So this is really good if you're if you have a lot of experience and you wanted to highlight all of your experience. This would be a really good way to do that, because ideally your resumes really should be 1 to 2 pages long. So if you have a lot of work experience, right, I think this kind of combination resume would be an ideal fit for you if you want. So those are the 3 resumes as I mentioned before. So the functional resume, the combination resume, and obviously our favorite, the chronological resume. So let's get right into it, and we'll talk about some of the tips and tricks that me, in my past experience as a recruiter, that I look for when I am screening resumes. So I don't know if you all know this, but recruiters screen resumes in 5 seconds. Studies have been done on this, and it has been shown that recruiters take 5 seconds to scan your resume. So in those 5 seconds, you need to make sure that you make a really good first impression. So in order for you to make a first good impression, I think formatting and creating a professional image is really important. So before we talk about the LinkedIn profile, let's talk about formatting and keeping things simple and clear. I would recommend everyone use a standard font. Ensure dates are aligned with the right margin. Ensure your bullet points are regular circle bullets, so not too large, too small, and aligned, and the text in the bullet sections are indented and aligned. Include page numbers with the footer field on both pages. Ensure consistent formatting throughout, as we discussed, and as I mentioned earlier, make sure there are no typing, spelling, or grammar mistakes. And then just wanted to also emphasize this here. Do not include personal information such as marital status, age, religious affiliations, etc., and do not include a photo. This is really important. I do see this quite a lot with people that are looking for jobs that may not be from Canada, from an international setting, have experience in the past with their sending resumes out in their home countries, but in Canada we don't do this. Just as I mentioned before, you need to keep your resume, try your best to keep your resume to 1 to 2 pages. And if you are printing your resume, which I don't know if anyone will be doing these days, but use the same type of paper for both of your resume and cover letter, preferably light and plain and high quality paper. So these are some of the points that I wanted to point out in formatting and creating a professional image. And also these days, I think it's really important that everyone try to get a LinkedIn profile. And also try to get, keep your LinkedIn updated and try to connect with people that are in the same professional space as you. But when you're connecting with people on LinkedIn, don't just randomly just hit connect. Make sure that you write an opening message, just explaining who you are, why you would like to connect. I think it's really important rather than just sending a connection invite. Also, I wanted to highlight here the experience versus education piece. So this is depending where you are in your career right now. If you're earlier on in your career, I think it would be good if you would include your education section at the beginning, and then your experience section, and then later on in your career you can reverse that. But some of the these are some of the things that I have noticed in my past experience that would be useful for you. And also, sorry, I forgot to mention the reference section. Don't use references available upon request or put your references on your resume just because, if an employer wants to ask for your references, they need to seek your permission first before calling them. So it is a good idea that, you leave those references out of your resume, and because you don't want your references to be called randomly, right? late and they don't have a heads up. So an employer will request the references, and then you will have time to give your references a heads up saying that, hey, I applied for this position, and they may call you and that kind of thing. So I would advise not to use put your references on your resume or use references available upon request, because it just takes up extra space where you can be putting something more useful.